Welcome back to the Independent Republic of Mike Graham right here on talkTV. Two big stories as well that we haven't yet touched upon, of course. One, the migrant situation, which is still exactly as it was the last time you and I spoke about it, despite all the bluster and despite all the words. There's more people than ever staying in hotels. We were told the other day there's a place called the Atrium Hotel out by Heathrow Airport in Hounslow, which may have as many as 4,000 migrants in it. People have been trying to book parties and things there because it's been quite a well-known place. I saw a piece of footage the other day on TikTok, which had been filmed by one of these guys who'd gone inside a hotel and was interviewing the various people in there. Many of them were from Eritrea. He was asking them, it was very polite, but I mean, you know, it was a slightly uncomfortable video. He found one guy who was a Kurdish national who said, and they said, well, to him, what are you doing? He said, I'm waiting for a house. I mean, it's just, and people are going, what?
It is extraordinary. I think the government's in actual panic mode here, in that they are rushing to book as many hotels as they can, because
of all the numbers of people.
Because the numbers are just completely off the scale. You can call it whatever you want. You can get all sensitive about the language.
Yeah.
The truth is that thousands of people every week are coming across the channel, and the government, the Home Office, the incompetent Home Office has utterly failed to process them. We know that processing is barely happening whatsoever.
And why is that so difficult for them to do?
It's not that difficult. It's just about the political will to lead from the front. It really isn't that difficult. And you have to have a team of people that believe in it. In my view, what you need... Sometimes things are so broken, you can't fix it. And that's the case with the Home Office.
Much of government departments are like that.
And so what is needed is the whole issue of immigration needs to be taken out of the Home Office. We need to set up a completely new Department of Immigration along the lines that they organise it in the United States, and it is a proper, robust...
Like a Department of Homeland Security,
effectively. Exactly, and it's a proper, robust department whose job is to know exactly who is coming in, who is going out of the country, and to keep our borders safe and secure, because that's what British citizens deserve and we expect. And if that happened, and you staff that Department of Immigration with people who believed in the cause, then all of a sudden, much of this would be sorted. Things would be processed immediately. The existing legislation is there. What's not there is the political will at any level. And if you've got, however well-intentioned Suella Braverman might want and think as the Home Secretary, just like Priti Patel, if the people underneath you don't believe in the cause, nothing's going to happen.
Well, these departments are so huge. It's a bit like the NHS, isn't it? If you're the leader and you give an instruction and everybody just goes, you know what, we're not going to bother with that. I mean, I've seen it happening in newspaper departments, which are a hell of a lot smaller, and then people just refuse to do things, and suddenly it doesn't happen. Well, and you're fighting a losing battle, and then you end up being the one that gets the heave-ho.
It's all about quality people, not the quantity of people.
Exactly
You could do a better job with a third of the people in a well-managed, well-led Department of Immigration, and I think that's the only way forward. This government won't change anything, despite all the sort of the blatherings of the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. I think he's still the Prime Minister. Despite what he says...
This message timed at 10:23 on Friday. You know, we'll see you later.
Nothing will change.
No.
And there'll be no change under the Labour Party. The Lib Dems have got no view. And this is... there are so many crises facing the country today. We, the people, are being so let down by the establishment and the government. But one has no confidence that any of this stuff will change.
No, it's absolutely appalling. Which brings me to this from Mr. Steve in Durham. He says, Richard Tice, please get out on the doors in the North East. Richard, we have been abandoned by the Tories and Labour. The North East is reform if you put the legwork in now. Thousands here, working class with no representation.
Steve,
and this one issue is what could get you somewhere.
Well, that's what we hope, and thanks for that message, Steve. And funny enough, I'm back up in Hartlepool again on Sunday, which is where I've announced I'm standing. And yes, all over the country people are frustrated, but in particular in the north of England, because so many people know there that we could have cheap, plentiful, reliable energy, we could create jobs and prosperity if we use our own assets, our own treasure under our feet. It's all there to be used, and we've got to go for it.
But in fact, I think part of the problem with this country is that we are being led by the sort of metropolitan elite of London and the centre of London. We talk about London a lot. But the people in London now are very different from the people in the rest of the country. Do you not think?
Oh, there's no question.
I mean, I'm a Londoner, but I'm not like these Londoners. I don't know where they've come from.
More than ever, you've got essentially an Islington party that basically masquerades as the Labour Party. And they have absolutely no empathy, no understanding, no relationship with what was the the heartland, the bedrock of traditional Labour voters in the industrial heartlands of this country, which of course was predominantly in the north and the Midlands.
Yeah.